Hey, Shalom, Swan Yeshua. Welcome again to the Rock. The Bible says in the book of Ecclesiastes, I don't know if you noticed that I don't ever really tell you the chapter and the verse because it is my hope that you will look it up yourself and that you will, you know what chapter, what book it's in, but I hope that you will actually dive into the Bible yourself. But in the book of Ecclesiastes, it says, there is a time for everything under the sun. Timing. Timing is often a very overlooked aspect of life. Yet, timing is important. In fact, timing is essential. It's crucial. For instance, Joseph, 7 years of plenty, 7 years of famine. You don't think that the timing was important for him to utilize the 7 years of plenty because there were 7 years of famine? How about Yeshua when he says, I come to the door and I knock? Well, if he's knocking at a particular time, shouldn't you be ready to open the door? Think about the parable of the 5 wise and the 5 foolish virgins. They were waiting for the bridegroom to come. Timing was essential, because if you did not have your oil at the time the bridegroom came, you would have been the one that had to have gone into the city to try and find some. Or actually, the bridegroom knew where to go, they just didn't have it. They didn't have their oil. Noah and the ark. You needed to have been on the ark before Yah closed the door. Do you see how essential timing is? Even in the life of preparedness and things like that, timing can be essential. It can be crucial. So for instance, taking advantage of sales. Taking advantage of sales, or taking advantage of when things were cheaper. Do you remember there was a time when ammo was cheap, when you could buy a box of Wolf 7.62 by 39 for $5, and sometimes they would go on sale for $4.50. Now they're $11 and $12 a box. Same ammo. This is probably what, I don't know, 10, 12 years ago maybe. And now it's up over $12 a box. 5.56 or 2.23. You're paying $9 or $10 a box. There were times you could buy that for the same price, $5.50. Timing is important. Making moves in life, timing is important. See, everybody has this idea, this perception that when they're ready to make the move will still be there. When I'm ready to settle down and obey the book, or when I'm ready to do this, that, or the other, that everything's going to be there. Everything's going to be ready. And they're finding out that it's not. Life went on, that things took place, and your opportunity missed. It's heartbreaking, when I hear people, I was looking to buy some land and da-da-da-da-da, and I didn't make the move, and now, I'm priced out, I can't afford it. See, timing is important, and you can't overlook the importance of making the decision that you need to make at the right time, not just any time. When you're driving a vehicle, you need to turn left. Isn't it important to have the right time to turn left instead of just turning left whenever you feel like it? Because we live in a whenever I feel like it culture. Whenever I feel like it, I'm going to do me. Again, you heard me mention it before, it's just masturbation. We have a lot of masturbators. I'm going to move when I feel like it. I'm going to jump when I feel like it. I'm going to do this when I feel like it. Everything's about when I. But life doesn't go that way. You don't get to show up at work whenever you feel like it. Well, unless you run your own business. But even then, if you want to be successful at what you're doing, homesteading, whatever it is, you don't just show up whenever you feel like it. Discipline is a word that most people like to overlook. You can't be a disciple unless you have discipline. That's why the two words are spelled very similar. You can't just show up when you feel like it. You can't just show up to life. You can't just show up to, hey, I'm ready now to settle down and get married. Well, hey, now you're 35 and people may not be interested in you the way it was. There may be options that have left you. You may have wanted to, I'm ready to do it now. But hey, if you wanted to marry a man that, for you sisters, you wanted to marry a man that wanted to have children, hey, you can still have children at that age. But, you're greatly limited at the amount of children you'll be able to produce at that age, especially if you didn't take care of yourself, your body, between the ages of, 0 and 35. You just don't get to make the decisions that you want to. I played college basketball. I can't just decide today, you know what, I'm going to go back and accept my offer and go overseas and play. You can't just do that. It doesn't work that way. Your body tells you that timing is important. I mean, doesn't your body produce eggs, sisters? Doesn't, at a certain time where the eggs, they're not as viable anymore, right? There's a time in your life where you want to be in a relationship, you want to be in a marriage, because you might not just, people have a hard time with that. They have a hard time with the idea that you can't just step in and out whenever you feel like it. I mean, you may think you can. I'm going to make this decision whenever I feel like it. But go and ask the people around you how interested they are, truly, now. When the timing, if you decided I'm going to wait until I feel like I'm ready, well, you may do that, but then somebody else may come in and take in the spot that you could have had. Well, I'll find better. Well, let me know how that works out for you. That story is repetitive in the lives of people. See, timing is important. As this path that we travel on, as society collapses, I'm not just talking about an economic collapse, everybody. I'm talking about societal collapse. Societal collapse and economic collapse absolutely oftentimes go hand in hand. But if you look at what we have right now, we have a sin issue. We have a society issue, societal issue. It's not just economics, because you see the rich people, the Epstein Island, you see all this debauchery and bullshit. These are rich people. Economics is not an issue with them. It's a sin issue. You see these pastors, these leaders in so-called churches, they're taking all the congregation's money. Hey, finances is not an issue with them. Sin is an issue with them. Social decay. The Bible says that the love of many will wax gross or wax old. They're going to be lovers of themselves, masturbators. People are they're going to be despisers of good. Hateful of parents. Murderers, slanderers, liars, deceivers, manipulators. This is not just because of economics. This is a sin issue. And if you are wise, you would know. If you can read the book and understand, timing is important. You might want to open up your eyes and look at the time that you are in. And realize that the time that you're in is going to require some major moves if you have not made any. If you have not made any moves to preserve yourself, your house, your family for the times that are coming, you may want to take the time that you have left and be very serious about the moves that you are making, about the destination that you are going, about the friendships that you have. This time is not infinite. There was a certain amount of time before the ark door closed. There was a certain amount of time before the famine came. There was a certain amount of time before this is what the watchman does. The watchman comes and warns you that time is short. And while you may not want to see it, while you may not want to acknowledge it, it doesn't change the fact that it is short. The people that did not want to acknowledge Noah and what he was saying, it didn't matter. It didn't stop a drop of rain from hitting homeboy in his forehead. And once that drop of rain hit homeboy in his forehead, he realized everything is changing. Noah was right. We got all sorts of variants of COVID, and we got people falling out. We got, just all sorts of pandemonium, anarchy, and the borders are open. People who want to disturb your way of life are literally coming across that border. They want to disturb your way of life. They want to hurt you. There are people out there that want to. The only thing that is stopping them is the police. Is the fact that they might get caught by the police. That's the only thing that's stopping them. And you're walking around aimlessly, not aware of the time that you are in. Pay attention to the time that you're in. And make moves according. You don't want to be swept away because you close your eyes and put your head in the sand. You know what time it is when you're supposed to be at work. You know what time it is that you get off. But you don't know what time it is to make moves in your life. That is sad. Bless y'all. Shalom.